from Table Ready Podcast, and we are building some inner circle companions. I got it upside down. No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Inner circle companions. Got to get the right spot. Okay, so we're going to build some inner circle companions for my Dark Angels force, and we're going to hang out and just chat a little bit. And if there's anything you want to talk about, please reach out. So this is, I have opened the box and looked at everything. There's a lot of different options in this kit if you haven't had a chance to look at it. And to be honest with you, these models are pretty gorgeous. I wish there was more. I wish you could field more than just 6 of them, but I know that's the way the new Primaris thing is. So, but these models are actually really cool looking. Should probably flip my phone over. That would probably make more sense. So we're going to work on that a little bit. So we're just going to set that to the side. And if you haven't seen any of these, this is what they look like. You have a small sprue, a lot of different sword options, some double-handed swords. And then, of course, when you get to the other ones here, you are looking at, there's a banner, and of course, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 more sword options. So as far as weapon choices and stuff like that, there's plenty of different options for you to work on for your models here. So let's get started. I mean, I gotta have the book here because I haven't built this one yet. You also do get order slides, and I keep going the wrong way with this stuff. There it is. So all kinds of Dark Angel stuff. If you're not doing inner circle companions, it definitely gives you a lot of different options to move forward with. So you do have tactical markings, assault markings, devastator markings, veteran markings. They give you the regular Dark Angels ones here, Deathwing, Ravenwing, different vehicle markings, different company choices, and of course I do 5th, so that's that guy right there, the quartered one. And then they do give you Guardians of the Covenant, which if I hadn't done Dark Angels at the initial, I probably would have picked them because I really like their color scheme. And then Angels of Redemption, which they have a pretty cool skull with the wings emblem. So that's about it. So as far as the book, surprisingly, it's more pages than you would think for 3 little guys. But like I said, there's a lot of different options there. I do want to steal some of these parts and try to make a Judiciar with one of these extra parts, but we're going to see how that goes as we move forward. So we're going to just start with one of the basic guys. Everyone, they do have the choice. 2 different guys for, I think, each of the different options. If I can turn the page. Yeah, there's that one. Gives you the sword down or the banner. And then, sorry, the weather's turning here and my hands are really dry, so turning things is kind of difficult. And then there's 2 different options for sword up guys there too. And like I said, I wish there was more options, but we'll deal with what we got for now. Once these are together and painted, I gotta get another box so I have a full squad of 6. Because strangely enough, after all this time, this is my first box review. So, but then again, as far as I'm concerned, you play what you want. You know, build the models that are affordable to you, and then you can just keep moving on from there and keep building your army as you go. All right, so I'm going to set them here. Let's see if I can find some of these pieces and we'll get to gluing stuff together. And that's going to be my project for tonight. I did have a night I was considering, but I really put these guys off on enough. I really want that for my army. So we're going to work on that. And oddly enough, I'm looking for piece number one. And maybe I'll find it. Oh, it's a big one there. So if you've never built models before and you're watching, a good pair of snips is your best tool. Find nice sharp ones. You can find ones with a nice flat edge like that. They really cut nicer. You can use standard diagonal cutters. They're fine too. You just want to remember that wherever the edge is where it's going to cut. You're also going to need a hobby knife, so be aware of that. I also have a file handy, so I do a lot of filing and stuff. And then, of course, there's a lot of different glue types. I'm a big fan of the Loctite Professional Edition Super Glue. So if you find some of that, it's worth its time. I feel it glues bonds really quickly, as well as just it bonds quickly and holds well. I think it works better than plastic glue on most cases. If you prime stuff first, it definitely holds the primer. You don't have that problem of the you can't use plastic glue for already primed models. And it's not super glue consistency like this. I don't mind using this, but it's still like crazy glue, super glue kind of consistency. So it's kind of, and if you smush it up, it kind of oozes out, stuff like that. Where this is a little more, it's not gel, but it's closer to a gel than regular super glue. It's definitely on the thicker side. All right, so got my handy dandy clippers. We're gonna start with the first guy, and like I usually just pull the pieces off that they call for first, um, just to get it all out of the way, and then I'll trim them as I go. And we'll look for a 2 and a 3. And I think these guys are going to be a great addition. Obviously, heard of Dark Angels, you've probably seen these models on the table. They are pretty much a staple in the army at this point. I still can't believe that this is the first set that I'm gluing together. But, you know, uh, I own 4 armies, 5 different armies. We won't talk about that. But so my funds kind of get distributed. And to be honest with you, it's been kind of a tough time getting some hobby progress lately. So I've done a little more purchasing than my time allows for, but that's kind of okay too sometimes. Sometimes some retail therapy is exactly what you need. And if anybody's seen in the last couple episodes of the podcast or the paint nights, I do have I got the Valor Drake Lance box set a couple months ago, actually, probably longer than I'd like to admit. And I've been kind of working on that. I did get an Avatar Keen, so I've been working on him. And 2 weeks ago, I was working on Sternguard minis, which, of course, and I reached past the Tyranids that are here. He's still quite available, quite still working on that. So I did get some color on them. They are looking kind of nice, but it's a little slow at this point. See if I can just turn that just a little bit. All right. Just the camera here just a little bit. So you can see all the D&D books involved. There we go. All right. So yeah. So we're gonna glue these together, and luckily enough, this is a brand new bottle, which is my favorite to work with. I'm sure that can be said of anybody that does models. Brand new bottle of glue is better than anything. I guess I should dry fit this first. Huh? Oh, it goes like that. Okay. I think it's starting to rain outside. I can just hear it in the window. Yeah, that are some inflatables. We're a big Halloween family here, so we have the Halloween decorations up and running. Yeah, surprise, surprise, the Dark Angel player likes Halloween stuff. Uh-huh. All right. I don't know what's up with that leg. I just lost the leg. Oh no, it's there. I got stuck in all the wrong spots. Anybody else like Halloween? All right. Oh, the fit on that is not quite where I want it to be. So let's find the next piece here, which is 4. Okay, so that's this guy here. Yeah, and a pretty interesting week. Um, uh, if you know, if you don't know, I'm an automotive technician by trade. Actually, a foreman in the shop that I work at. Uh, had a heck of a project the last couple of months, and yeah, that's hard to say, just so you know. But I've had a heck of a project for the last couple months, and as of yesterday, I finally got it all fixed. Everything's working, and what a ordeal that was. If that thing is not, doesn't look right. I need to break his leg out there. Yep, that's what happened. Fussing with the wrong leg. Ta-da! Okay. Hello, Mr. Richard. How are you today? So I'm building some inner circle companions. For some reason, this guy's just not sticking on. I wanted to. Yeah, here I am. This is the best glue, and you're on fight. Haha. Um, no, it's fine. Got a little too much glue on there, and it's just sloppy. So we need to get Richard back into doing some painting and stuff. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, so I need to trim that piece. So yeah, so we've been working on that. So yeah, I finished this big project at work, and it's been an ordeal. Two months of ordering parts, trying to get the right thing. And to be honest with you, the hardest part about that is it was because the turn signals had a code in them to start off with. So now that that project is finished, we can move on to bigger and better things, at least better things. So, and at some point, I took a picture of all the boxes of all the parts that I needed to fix this thing. And luckily, it's done. All right. Yeah, that works. That's a weird joint that they created in that thing. There are some times that I miss the metal models where they just glue the arms on and go. And then they do lose a lot of these extra details. And it's strange because I think this is going to be the excuse to put some purple into my Dark Angels army. Because most of my armies are very uniform. My Imperial Guard are very uniform. My Thousand Suns are just blue and gold. There's no variations very much. And then I play Eldar, and they're all different. And of course, I'm fun. Before it was Games Workshop's benchmark, I played same hand. So I have all the cool red jet bikes and stuff like that. And all the red ones go faster, so which was actually more accurate until 10th edition. I think I missed a little piece there. Hit it with the hobby knife. We got a file. He's all fixed up. Try to go over the seams real quick just to smooth them out a little bit. And to be fair, uh, everything is table ready. Get the pun. Um, and so I'm not 100% on cleaning everything and every little spot and stuff like that. I want the models to look good on the table. I am no painter. I don't have the patience or the time or the eyesight for it to be. So I just try to make them look good. And I've painted enough models, so I have a good backlog of models that I painted for other people. Sorry if the sanding stick got a little annoying. Some people are sensitive to that. All right. That's a good solid body. They have bases. We're going to wait on those. So we got some extra stuff on here. Okay. Have one of those. Oh no, did I do it? All right. So we need 6, 7, and 8. It's pretty straightforward. So Richard has some Space Marines, some Chaos Space Marines, and he was maybe smart enough or willing to listen to our Chaos Space Marine episode a couple weeks ago. I know he listened to one of them. I don't know if he listened to that. Where we got? There's six pouch. Yeah, these are going to be fun models. I'm going to really enjoy painting these. Yeah, so all the little details on here. I can't even show them properly. That's the worst part. Camera's up here. Yeah, but it's good because I got that work done at work, and things are a little peaceful. I don't have that stress on my shoulder anymore. So we're gonna hopefully get some more time in and get some more painting nights and stuff like that. Maybe I can schedule something next week and just come on here, see if anybody listens or watches or whatever. I think if I get some free time, I'm gonna record some future episodes, kind of take some of the burden off me for later. If you don't listen to the podcast itself, we are doing some what I call combat patrol to crusade, which we're taking the combat patrol armies, the box sets, and building them up to crusade level, which is 1,000 points. A couple episodes we did talk about some of the further things to do as far as like what I would add next, what you should recommendations where to go from there. So put that on the wrong side. Well, I guess they turn the model around. Okay. And that is one thing that I really like about this glue is it's kind of forgiving. If you catch it right away, you can pull it off, start over, and it doesn't like melt your plastic and ruin the model. And it's also not like leave a big film on top of it either. I really like that it's very easy to use. It will get on your skin pretty hard though. All right, so we're gonna wait on the base. Oh, and I'm not sure which pose I want to go with. I might just skip this one. Skip ahead on this one. Well, just because this one has the Judiciar look with the long sword and the smoking incense burner thing. Though I do like this sword with the double-handed grip, the great sword stance. Yeah, maybe we'll just skip ahead. So that next step is to build either option. Yeah, so we're going to skip ahead just because I just picked the wrong one. And this would be perfect because I'm not going to do the banner for the first one because the banner doesn't really do anything. There's no rules around it. So I think I'm just going to skip it and do the other guy. And then maybe when I get the second one, I can come back and do it again. So we'll set that guy aside. And this is 27. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get these guys done. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they will make a good group, like I said, or play some decent matches, stuff like that. Trying to get some matches in with the boys and get them really playing, and they have some armies to work with. So every little bit of new models and new stuff that they can fight against, it kind of gives them more experience as to what's in the game. I'm sure sometimes they really get sick of playing against Eldar or Dark Angels, or especially Thousand Sons. They don't like my Thousand Sons, especially if I get out the Vortex piece. I put that thing on the table. It's like, oh, no, I hate trying to kill that thing. He really just doesn't try hard. Yeah, so we got that. A little bit of flashing there. Some flashing in here. So, all right. So we got that. That's going to go in there nicely. So we should be doing another Legends this weekend. We kind of missed out last week only because they had a busy weekend. They had football games. They're in the band. They had football games and parades and stuff like that. So trying to keep their schedule going for school and trying to get stuff for recording and stuff like that is sometimes more difficult than you can imagine. Or maybe you can imagine if you're in a D&D, sometimes people just drop out and things get busy and life gets busy. The good thing is, oh, for me, the good thing is parade time is almost over. Football games are almost over. You know, and that's one of those things, like, I remember. What did you miss? You missed everything. Richard, you missed everything. Um, well, I was talking about parade time and stuff like that. So we were just oh yeah, the boys parade time and stuff like that is almost over. The weird thing is they don't do a Thanksgiving Day parade. They don't do football games last until this weekend unless they're in the playoffs. Like, I remember football games lasting way up till Thanksgiving, but I guess they don't do. Nah, you're good. Richard, you're good. We're just trying to keep moving here. Um, just kick the stand here. So yeah, so the first ICC, I got the body done. Inner circle companion, I got the body done, and then I decided that I'm not sure which bits I want to use because I like both the stances. Um, so we're skipping forward to the next guy because I knew exactly which one I wanted to do for him. I talked a little bit about my work project, which was a complete and utter mess. You know. So we so that's about it. I'm just working forward on these guys, just making sure to dry fit them and we'll check them over. I was did mention that you play Space Marines and yeah, Space Marines, and that you need to come over and play some games all the time, at least some kids in life. So we're just working on some guys here. So yeah, so we're just working on a couple guys moving forward. So these guys were the addition when the Lion came out. These were the other guys that came out with him. I just got a paper towel on my dude. Yeah, wipe the glue off with a paper towel. I should know better than this. Yeah, I'm kind of glad and disappointed that football games don't go any further than October. Um, I'm surprised the high school that my kids go to, they are on the verge of being um, in the playoffs. So that is a couple extra games. But uh, they play their rival team this week already. Wait, this week? Yeah, this week. You should get back into paint. You got lots of stuff to do. You need to come over and show Logan how the disco lord works. I know he took a little bit of a narc, but and then venom crawlers. He could use a lesson in venom crawler. The scary thing is he's getting better. He's getting a lot better. He's gonna be better than me soon. That's not exactly a high bar to reach, but all right. So we got 28, 29. Let's see what we got here. 28's that big mess. Yeah. Well, you got to do it. We'll get you caught up. We're gonna get everybody caught up. I'm telling you, he still hasn't picked up the Chaos Space Marine book he's been playing off of. Uh, um, let's say online resources to get all his data sheets and stuff like that. So I'm hoping they're all accurate when he plays. And I have nothing to argue with if they're not right. But yeah, he's got a pretty cool force at this point. All right, where are we at? All right, so this thing goes in the front. Yeah. I guess if you're gonna keep your keys here, the front would probably be the best place. There you go. We got 29. So yeah, he's well. I mean, he's math smart, so that kind of helps too. Him and if Michael applied himself a little bit more, he'd probably be beating me at this point too. Michael gets too emotional though. 29. Why can't I find this thing? It's gotta be here. Uh-oh. I think I lost my thing here. There we go. See if I can change these. No. Okay. Sorry about that. The thingy goes in the other thingy. Yeah. That's the way it always works. Right now, I just can't find the thingy. 29. Really, I'm smarter than this. Maybe it's on the other screen. Yeah, it's on the other screen. That was smart. I'm good at putting models together. Or maybe I'm just good at snipping glue. I don't know. Yeah, stupid pop up on my screen here. All right. Sorry about that. I don't think you guys can see it. It's just blocking my view. Thanks. Thanks for the help on that. Appreciate it. All right. So that goes in there. Okay. Yep. Nothing worse than, nothing better than big greatsword guys in a world of everybody having guns. We'll see how good they do. I'm willing to try them out. Everybody is excited about them all the time, so I'm sure they're pretty decent. But nobody plays like 3 squads of them. There's always like one squad. That's it. It's interesting. Uh, yeah, definitely. Dark Angels are my favorite chapter. Um, I really, I don't know. I I got into them way back when. And I don't even mention how far back, but when I first started playing 40K, a friend of mine played Space Wolves, so I actually collected Eldar when the I amassed enough Space Marine models from all the starter kits and stuff like that. I'm like, I need to pick a Space Marine chapter to play. This way I can paint, work all these models, stuff like that, and they don't go to waste. So I kind of landed on the Dark Angels because I did like their nightly motif, their theming. I like that they had like a nefarious backstory. It definitely helped playing them. They weren't just clean cut, you know, basic Marines running around doing their thing. They had a backstory and a lot of flavor and a lot of stuff going on. So I really like that. So at the time, I think they were probably the most lore driven Space Marine chapter. I mean, I know that's kind of changed now a little bit, but they just had I don't want to say most rich because it was probably the more, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Colorful. So yeah, they're the only ones that I play and collect. Uh, there's other ones I could and would play, but I don't know that if I had to redo it today, if I would have picked anybody other than Dark Angels. I maybe I might have ended up on like Imperial Fists or something like that. That's true. It's true. I'll have a drink right now. Always stay hydrated. Uh, Favorite mini I own. I do own the Lion, and that's a really cool miniature. Um, I scratch built a Samael, which is a lot of I really like. Using a resin jet bike and stuff like that because I really didn't like the original. I have Magnus, which is just an amazing model. He's one of my favorites, and some of the other jet fighters I really enjoy. I just like their sleek designs and stuff like that. As far as ship or jet, I should say, they they have one of the coolest aesthetics. But if I really had to say, probably one of my favorite models is maybe the Lion, just because it's such a complex model, and I like that knightly theme. It's a really cool model. Correct. The Helldrake is pretty cool too, and a very intricate model to paint, and a lot of fun to paint too. I, Everybody said that it was a scary model to paint, and I really didn't have any problem with it. A lot of the Thousand Sons were like that. I was not. I dove headfirst into Thousand Sons. So yeah, all mine are out of reach at the moment. But yeah, I really like the Thousand Sun. The Thousand Sun model is really cool, and like I said, the Lion is a really cool model as well. All right, so that's that. That's that. So we're gonna move to six. Double arms together. Cool. That's on here. How about you? What's your favorite model? Do you have Dark Angels? I got into Warhammer in second edition, uh, right around the time of the Dark Millennium box. So I think that was like 94, 95. Oh, very nice. The Swarmlord is an awesome model. And Tyranids are a lot of fun. In fact, let me snip this out here real quick. My son plays Tyranids, and he has his Trigon sitting right here. And to be honest with you, that's a pretty awesome looking model in itself. That's one of his favorite. He pretty much always plays his Trigon. So yeah, the Swarmlord is an amazing model, though. All the Hive Tyrants are. I'm actually a big fan of the Winged Hive Tyrant. I like that model a lot. And whether you do him with just melee weapons or even um, my son's got it with the Venom Cannon, uh, the model just looks amazing. Do you have specific uh, color theme for your paintings, like Leviathan or Behemoth or all right. This one's gonna go right on here. Oh yeah, that's gonna look cool. Arms make the model come together. Leviathan. That's cool. I really like the Leviathan scheme. Um, Logan was all about the red, so he he has Blood Angels, which of course are red. The High Fleet Behemoth, which is red, red and blue, and then his Chaos Marines are actually all blue because and only because he had two red armies and didn't want to have another one. So, but no, that's a good choice. I like Leviathan. Um, I'm actually a big fan of what was that Kraken? The green bodies with the brown shells. That's one of my favorite looks. I think they look super natural and buggy looking without being like overly alien. Um, and I seen a buddy of mine had, and I haven't played with him for years, but a buddy of mine actually used to do like an all black, almost like the xenomorph alien theme. Those are pretty cool too. A little bit on the plain side, but they he went with that super glossy look like the aliens are. It looks really cool. He even did like those, like the ribbings on the scenery, like in the alien movies, stuff like that. Anyway, two tones since I painted half his face with tone before I'm mixing some of the cracks white. That's pretty cool. And I really like stuff like that because that really gives a nice theme to your army. So anything that you can kind of bring together, I think really, like I said, brings that army together and it makes it your own. Um, so like even like everything that I do is a little off what Game Workshop does. I mean, I do Dark Angels, but some of my like my firstborn are all a different color than all the Primaris ones to show like the different age of the armors. Um, my Eldar, I have two different themes for the different like the Guardians are a different color than the jet bikes, even though they're all red. They're just different shades. I really try to put a lot of flavor into my armies intentionally. Uh, it doesn't. It helps that I've been painting for 20 some years and the paints have changed so much. But really, honestly, some of it is just because I want the theme for the army. So no, that's pretty awesome. Black theme seems cool. I saw one with a more black and like ice fluid. Oh, that would be really cool. And the ice theme bases, that would be really awesome. I like a lot of them ice bases. Uh, they do a lot of really cool details and stuff like that. I have not tried it yet. Um, I have my Dark Angels are so old; they all have like grassy, muddy bases. Same with the Imperial Guard that I have. All my Thousand Suns have. I tried to go with more of like a Planet of Sorcerers theme, so there's a lot of like blues and pink grasses on it, and rocks, and it's very uneven. And I tried to make it intentionally eclectic. So that's really cool. Um, I like those a lot. Gamer's grass, if you're looking for some decent grasses to put on your bases and stuff like that, they have a lot of really cool stuff, and they always stick, which is the biggest thing that a lot of ones don't. Uh, so that's the recommendation I have. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty others out there, and if you got something that's better, I'd love to hear it because I like trying new things. But yeah, Gamer's Grass is like amazing. Even their snow effects and stuff like that is really cool. Yeah, all my older models just have like the grassy. Some of my Astra Militarum are C. I have the what are they? The Zone, not Zone Mortalis. The other one is the City Fight one bases. So, but they're pretty cool. My Astra Militarum are essentially from Necromunda. So they're the gray, black armor and stuff like that. They're very monotone and not very exciting. But I did nice camo, like an urban camo on the vehicles, just enough so that they're not one big flat color. That was well before skills with an airbrush got any good. Not that they're great now, but at least I'm willing to try. Oops. Yeah, yeah, I have plenty of models, plenty of armies, too much stuff. Um, yeah, this guy's just about done. 42 or 46 for a head. I think this guy's done. The heads are even on the screw. They're on this one. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, what kind of head do we want for this guy? Apologize. Cat sneeze. Yep, put that one in there. That one will be pretty cool. So, how long have you been collecting Tyranids, Joe? All right, that'll look good. Down over the shoulder. Yeah, it's a good look. No, no problem. How long have you been collecting your Tyranids? All right, let's get into the backpack yet. All right, that's all he gets then. Strange. They had him looking the other way. I like this way though. I went with My camera's got to catch up here. About 5 months ago. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I like the look. Um, got the starter set from board game store. I was on vacation. I collected them. I was sent. That's pretty cool. Um, and they have a pretty good combat patrol. Or, um, I missed the fleshing on that. They have a pretty good combat patrol. It's pretty strong, and it doesn't hurt. We did a episode on the Tyranid Combat Patrol a couple months ago. You can go back to the YouTube channel. It should be on the podcast listing, and did some recommendations as to what to go from the starter box up to the Crusade level. So you can always watch that if you're interested. Just some of the suggestions, but that is a really cool box set to start with, especially for the Tyranids. And if you're looking into the whole getting the bigger box set, the one I think it's the I forget which one it is. The ultimate starter set is actually really worth the money if you got the money for it. It's like I think it's $460 worth of stuff for in a $200 box. So it is. It's very worthwhile. All right. So we want to do the smoke or just the regular one? We're just going to go with the regular one. 32 and 31. So yeah, everything that we do here is just to help people get to play and enjoy their armies and their models that they're spending their money on. I mean, getting a good group, just getting some games in, that's the best part. So this doesn't want to come out. There we go. What am I missing? Oh, the backpack. Backpack, power pack, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's clean this up real quick. We can have a finished model. Yay. I grabbed that 2 of months ago. Definitely worth it. I also have. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I do too. And I actually found that uh, Logan got 2 different hive tyrants. So the only part that's missing between making another one is just the torso and the not the tail piece. There's another piece, but if you look online, you can actually find they have the torso to print. So he ended up with 4 different hive tyrants because I just printed 2 torsos for him. So he's got 2 winged ones, 2 ground ones. Very cool. I also like the Ultramarines. They're good. There's not a bad Space Marine chapter, really. So, the incursion level army. Okay. That's awesome. It goes in pretty smooth. his starter army was Dark Angels. Yay! Everybody likes Death Guard now. Death Guard's pretty tough. They're we just played the Eldar Combat Patrol against the Death Guard Combat Patrol. I played Eldar and got tanked. There's just nothing in that Eldar kit Combat Patrol that can take on the stuff in the Death Guard. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it definitely comes with all those extra bits. So yeah, my kid's got 4 high turrets and only one screamer, one Trigon, stuff like that. So whatever else he has is a Tyrannofex that he's just finishing painting. I got those around his birthday, and then he's got a Turbogon that, because like the end of last edition, that was Turbogon was pretty cool with the respawning Termagants. It's pretty cool. So that goes in there. Try fit this because 100%. And my big fuddly fingers doesn't always help. It just goes in here, huh? That'll work. I don't think anybody know the difference except me anyways. Yeah, they did get a little bit nerfed, but I don't think enough. Just that contagion rule and all that. It really put you through it, especially when you got toughness 3 Eldar against those Death Guard Terminators and stuff like that. It's tough. All right, so let's stick this guy on a base and we'll call him done. We're playing on, oops, knock the jousting shield. All right, we'll let him sit for just a minute there. Just so I don't mess with anything while it's drying. Yeah, them Death Guard are nuts. All right, how much different is this last guy? Up or out, essentially. So I got 2 options here. Yeah, apparently I did. All right. Let's just take this guy down then. He's not going to play nice. We'll just take him down. So I got 2 options here. Either I can go with the wet sword up or the sword going out. Oh, I think it's back. There we go. It's my melee bio warriors. Yeah, I'm sure. That -1 toughness means he's winning on 2s, and my guys are winning on 5s. Yeah, that's exactly the problem that I had. Like, Eldar Guardians, or not Guardians, the Dire Avengers, stuff like that, just ridiculous to fight against. All right, so we're going to bring this back up because I think it's working. All right, so we got this way. Two options. I can either go with the up or the out. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, these Terminators are ridiculous. Just ridiculous. They're no fun to fight against. Oh, maybe let's build up the guy and see where we're at. Yeah, Twin Link didn't do anything. It's hard to get those rules. Yes, they were a lot more swarmy. So you could definitely get more models in. I think they took some nerves, but go for the up pose. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's do that. So I do think that the nids were a little tougher back then. Just like I said, like you could just keep spawning more of them and more of them and more of them, and that was kind of the strength. I'm definitely going for the up pose. I think that was the best choice. All right, so what do we got? 47. Like there's only one set here yet. I don't know what I'm really looking for. Yeah, so the Tyrannid Swarm was strong in 9th edition. Very strong. 8th edition, 9th edition, both of them. Very strong. So, but what are you going to do? Editions changed. They tried to change the lore a little bit. They brought all the big brain bugs in. So, I mean, the army changed as a whole. And I don't think it's for the worse. I'm still disappointed that Gene Stealers aren't good. After all these years, Gene Stealers should be tougher than they are. I want to put a formal complaint into GW. Gene Stealers are not tough enough. Gene Stealers, even with the Broodlord, they're just. Oh yeah, if they get into close combat, they're really tough. But realistically speaking, they're just not tough enough. They just need to be tougher. Either just physically tougher, or they need just a little bit of a better save, or something like that. Gene Stealers are supposed to be these amazing um, frontal assault guys, and they just get chewed up by fire. It's such a shame. I don't really know what would fix them, because obviously, if you make them cheaper, they're going to be too tough. You know, there is some nasty builds you can do, but you have to be very careful and you have to be very good at playing them. And that's going to be your secret with Tyranids. A good Tyranid player is hard to beat. So practice with your nids. They can do some serious damage. They really can. Stay strong, my friend. Yes, they definitely hit like a Mack truck if you can get them there. The secret is getting there. Like I said, I just wish they had some kind of better survival tool to get them into combat. And I know it's a shame because, like, if I remember correctly, they infiltrate so they can start closer. If you can, you know, get the first turn and really get, you should be able to get them in. But the shame of it is, like, if they overwatch you when you're charging in close combat, there's a good chance, you know, one good flamer hit and you're going to lose half of them. They just need to be better. They should be tougher than Tyranid Warriors. And I like Tyranid Warriors too. Oh, that's right. They have Scout 8. That's what they have. I knew they had something. I just couldn't remember what it was. Infiltrators. I think I have played too many editions, so sometimes my rules uh, overlap. Yeah, but I mean, Scout's not bad. Scout 8 is good if you can put them in the right place. And you can put them ahead 8 inches, which is that should be their movement, right? If they could scout, I think they should have stealth or something like that. That would be really cool. Since they're supposed to blend in to the terrain and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool for them. That might be the thing they need. They need stealth. They don't have stealth, right? They need stealth. That -1 to hit and shooting, that would help. I mean, the lictors have stealth. I mean, yeah, the lictors have stealth. That helps them get into close combat. There's not enough lictors in a squad, so I think that's their big problem. But I do like I love the lore behind the Dune Stealers. That's it. We'll petition Games Workshop or Warhammer, and we'll see if we can get them stealth. Even if you got to pay for like a stratagem or something like that, I think that would be the kicker. Of course, they'd probably make them 50 points more. Oh, that would be good. I didn't realize that. If you played the Vanguard Onslaught, you can give the Brood Lord an enhancement that gives them stealth. Nice, and the benefits of cover to all models at all times. I think that would work. And they get a bunch of bonuses for the attachments. Yeah, I'd have to look into that. It would probably work. I mean, then you're tailoring your army just for that one unit, but I'm sure there's a couple of people that play Vanguard Onslaught, right? It's not an uncommon detachment. I think it would be a good choice. Isn't expensive. A bunch of bonuses from the detachment because they have the Vanguard Invader keyword. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's the Lictors and the Von Ryan Leapers and stuff like that, right? Okay, so I just wasn't looking up the right stuff here. See, I need to be trying these different detachments out. Here I am talking like I'm a Tyranid player. Yeah, the Lictors, the Narrow Lictors, Von Ryan Leapers. Forget what else does. There's a lot of good units though. All right. Oh, really? Advance and charge two. Well, that's just fantastic. It's actually a really good combination. Hey, you know what? I'm all about pick the faction that you really like the one that talks to you, and then you can play it. And even like the units inside the faction, play the guys that you like to play, um, and you're gonna have the most fun with it. You might not always win every game, but that's kind of the great thing about it. I mean, you don't learn anything new about your army, about your strategies if you win every game. You're just gonna rinse, repeat, and keep playing the same thing. Where you lose, and then you get that. Oh, if I took this out and swapped it with that, or if I changed this out and tried this different detachment. I mean, that's my favorite part of the game. It's just building a new list and okay, this didn't work out. Was it a fluke? Was it something that was intentional? Is the unit just not that good? Um, that's really my favorite part of this hobby is like just going in there and fleshing out a new army and figuring out why it didn't work and stuff like that, and reapplying it to the next fight. I don't do enough of that anymore, just because I don't get as many games as I used to. But that is my favorite part. I like when I can sit down. And we always sat down at the end of every fight. The group that I originally started playing with, the end of every fight, we'd be like, okay, this is our MVP. This is the guy that really did, this is the squad that really didn't do anything. I'm so disappointed at their performance. And then we would just play. I mean, we only had so many models at the time, so we would just keep playing so similar models, if not exactly the same game, over and over. And it was like, okay, this one didn't work, and this one looked great, and how do I change this to make them better? Yeah, tabletop simulator is a good thing. Um, again, like, not that there's anything wrong with it. I actually like tabletop simulator, but I really like just getting together with my friends and seeing what works and what doesn't work and how it works out. And if something works real good, then and you can have a discussion about it. It's not just okay. This is what I think didn't work, because we kind of always work together. Somebody buys a new unit or something like that. Yeah, just discussing the match. Like I said, that's like my favorite part of the hobby. I love the discussions about what worked and what didn't work. And we always talked about, like, you know, even like my cousin plays Space Wolves, and he was one of my biggest opponents. And we would just, you know, this guy, you're I can't believe your Wolf Scouts didn't do anything this fight. They're usually pretty good, or something like that. And we would talk about almost unit by unit and discuss what worked and what didn't. I think my cat's bored of the conversation. All right, so what do we got here? 52's down here. All right. So yeah, if you got a good group and a good friend to play with, take advantage of it. It doesn't always work out that way. So it's all about hanging out with your friends and having a good time. It really is. Um, for a while there, we used to call it beer and pretzels game. Just get together, play a couple games, have some pizzas and whatever, and just have a good time. 53. See if we can get this done before I gotta go. Hey, it's been really good chatting with you. Thanks for hanging out. Uh, if you want, you can subscribe, and we're usually on here like every Thursday night doing something. So stop by anytime, hang out, chat. It was a lot of fun talking to you. Have a great night. All right. So there we go. Now I'm going to see if I can finish this guy up before I go. And we're going to work with the pose up one. Yeah, that'll be good. 465. I only got a couple more pieces here. I think we're going to wait on the other guy, and I'm going to choose which one I go with. I think I'm going to end up just with the Nightly looking one, just the swords. Save the little incense burner for something else. I said I really want to make a Judiciar since that model is still not available separately. I would really like to have one of those. Yeah, we're going to try and get this here. We're at 64, 65. 64's here. Just going to be a dry fit involved with this guy. It's going to go in here. Yeah. All right. A little poke in here. All right. Yeah, let's go. Just fit it in there. What the heck? Huh. Is there a little booger on there? Oh, there is. I wonder if this would fit straight. That would probably help. All right, so let's see. Go in here like so. No, not like so. Yeah, I got it. Oh, I do not have it. Try this again. All right, let's see what we got here. Put too much glue in here. I'm just not getting the right angle. Oh, there we go. Just like that, it's perfect. All right, set that one down. What's the arm? 66. We'll get this arm into place. For me, this is kind of this is my wind down time. I get to enjoy it and have a good time. This is my relaxation at the end of the day, So I don't mind taking my time with this stuff. I'm not in a rush. There's no tournament coming up or anything like that. I'm just looking to build some models and paint them eventually. All right, so we can just put a spot there. I feel like one of those unnecessary risks. Let's glue the hands together, and hopefully it'll line up with the body. Oh, I dropped it on the ground, so it should hold. So yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that's a cool pose. That's very cool. There he is. All right, let's see if we can get these couple. Really need some shoulder pads and a head, and we're in good shape. I'll just throw them on the ground again. All right, so we got 60 and 61. That's pretty basic here. Down, down. Let's get this little shave. Because I want to go up before my kids go to bed, which is probably not too long from now. All right. All right, so we got shoulder pad, a little bit down. I don't think it's stuck. We can fix that. Go up just a little bit. Sometimes you have to be a little deliberate. If it doesn't work out right, we can always go back and fix it later. I think it's stuck though now. All right, so we need a head form. This says 63 or 68. Use 68 or no, I didn't. Let's go with the beard guy. I wonder why. Beard guys are cool. Just my personal opinion. All right, this guy's definitely running this way. Oh, no, too far. What are you doing? No broken necks. Okay, there we go. Why did you just roll completely over? I want to know where the robes come from. They got like their hoodies on underneath their robes or underneath their power armor. Okay. Perfect. All right. So we just need a backpack and a tilting shield. I think I'm just going to avoid the smoke on all this. I have another case here. Sorry for the noises. All right. Glue his foot down. Ooh, he's leaned over pretty far. I think sword up was the best choice. All right, so we need just backpack 54, 55. Probably all here. The goofy tilting shield, which is 67. Let's get down here. I wonder if the tilting shields are actually different. Probably the way they sit. All right. Tilting shield. Do you want to? I think I'm gonna leave these guys are smoke free. Get my better clippers here. Kill the guy with the sprue. Ha ha ha. Murder. So yeah, it's this guy. Backpack. Well, that's gonna be it for me. What do you guys think? Definitely get moving here. I think we had a pretty good conversation about some Tyranids. So playing some Dark Angels. And there's always discussion about the old days in these paint chats for some reason. Everybody wants to know what second edition was like and third edition. My best advice was it was a whole different game. Yeah, everything was different. I went to my first tournament playing second edition, and I had a quarter of my army murdered with a vortex grenade on a tech marine. And you'll never understand that if you never went through it. All right. I would say, oh, okay. This tilting shield's on the other side. Like, that's definitely not going to go there. All right. Did I trim this okay? All right. All right, let's stick this on here. I don't know. I used to really like the idea of the tilting shields. Now they just seem like they're in the way. So anyway, No. Okay. So anyway, there he is in all his glory. He's all done. So we did get two guys done tonight. The other one I'm going to discuss with myself what I want to do with them. So they are now the poster children of my dark angels at the moment. So I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. Anybody that watched, thanks for hanging out and having a good discussion. If you chatted, yay. If you didn't, then that's fine too. You can always come on next week. We'll probably do an episode more of a spooky themed. But you'll have to see because that'll be a podcast episode. So probably Combat Patrol to Crusade, but you'll have to come in and check. So we'll see you next week. And this is Todd from Table Ready Painting, and we're here to help you and your models become table ready. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.